Chapter 16. The first gate. Every door exists for two reasons: to keep something out or to keep something in. Ethan didn't move. His foot remained upon the ancient platform. The three concentric circles glowed softly beneath him, not with electricity, not with fire, with recognition. The sea stopped, not completely, only around the platform. Waves continued crashing against the cliffs. Wind continued sweeping across the coastline. But within a perfect circle, the Atlantic became still, as smooth, as polished glass. Ethan looked around. No one reacted. A jogger passed along the cliffs. Two tourists argued over directions. A fishing boat drifted across the horizon. No one looked toward the platform. It was as if the world refused to notice it. His phone vibrated. Signal restored. One notification. No sender. No number. No application. Just 3 words. Do not leave. His stomach tightened. He stepped backward instinctively. The message vanished. The platform dimmed. The sea breathed again. He frowned. No. He whispered, I'm done. He turned toward the staircase leading back to the road. Then, he heard it. Not behind him. Beneath him. A single knock. Knock. The stone beneath his feet had answered. Back on chaos. Every display inside the synchronization laboratory turned white. Not from overload. From absence. Every graph. Every equation. Every diagnostic. Gone. Only one image remained. A perfect circle. Inside it, a single point of light. Professor Sarah stared. Zoom. The intelligence obeyed. The point expanded. An ocean. Clouds. Continents. A blue world. General Kaler looked toward her. Is that? She nodded slowly. It has found them. Silence spread across the laboratory. No one asked how. No one asked why. Some answers could wait. Others could not. Deep beneath the archive, Professor Veros still stood before the lantern. Its flame had become perfectly still. Then, without warning, the flame divided. One became 2. The second flame drifted into the darkness, floating gently down another corridor. The ancient voice returned. The 6th witness has answered. Veros closed his eyes. So it begins. No. The voice corrected him. It continues. On Blue Star, Dr. Amelia Grant received another anomaly report. This one came from the Coastal Seismic Network. No earthquake. No fault movement. No volcanic activity. Only one impossible reading. A hollow space, nearly 300 meters beneath the Atlantic seabed. She checked the previous week's scan. Solid rock. She checked yesterday's. Solid rock. Today's scan contained a chamber, perfectly circular, 1 kilometer wide. It had not formed. It had appeared. She immediately called the survey station. Run another scan. We already have. And the technician hesitated. It's gone. The chamber existed for exactly 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Ethan slowly knelt beside the platform. His fingers hovered over the glowing symbol. Every instinct told him not to touch it. Curiosity. 1. The instant his fingertips brushed the center circle, the world disappeared. No explosion. No flash. No sound. Only darkness. Then, stars. Not the night sky. Billions of stars. Close enough to touch. He floated among them. Weightless. Silent. Ahead. Someone stood. Their back turned toward him. Tall. Wrapped in robes that shimmered like liquid night. They spoke. Without turning around. You are late. Ethan frowned. I think you have the wrong person. The figure laughed softly. No, I have the right memory. Before Ethan could speak again, the stars shattered. Reality returned. He found himself kneeling upon the platform. Less than a second had passed. His heart pounded. His breathing was uneven. His watch still read 6:18 a.m. But something had changed. The platform beneath him no longer displayed 3 circles. Now, there were 4. The 4th circle was incomplete, barely visible, as though waiting for someone else. Far beyond both civilizations, the ancient mechanism paused. Its countless calculations stopped. One final line appeared across its endless surface. Earthgate, initial contact established. Another line followed, one that had not been displayed since the last civilization fell. Permission to open first threshold. Pending. Chapter 17. Permission. The oldest machines do not make decisions. They wait for permission. The platform grew silent. The fourth circle faded. Its faint glow disappeared beneath the stone, as though nothing had happened. Ethan remained kneeling. His breathing slowly returned to normal. He looked around. The coastline was unchanged. The waves continued rolling toward the shore. A seagull landed on a nearby rock. The morning traffic resumed along the coastal road. Everything was ordinary, except him. His hands trembled, not from fear, from certainty. He had seen someone, not imagined, not dreamed. Seen. You are late. The words refused to leave his mind. Late. For what? He reached into his pocket. His phone, still working. No strange messages. No mysterious notifications. Only the lock screen. 6:19 a.m. 1 minute. That impossible vision had lasted less than 60 seconds. Yet, it felt years long. Back on Chaos, the planetary intelligence interrupted the silence. Priority event detected. Professor Saris looked up immediately. Report. The Earthgate has completed initial contact. General Kaler frowned. You keep calling it the Earthgate. You've never used that designation before. A pause, longer than any machine should require. Finally, the intelligence answered. I did not create the designation. Silence. Where did it come from? I remembered it. No one spoke. Machines did not remember. Deep beneath Horizon Spire, Professor Veros looked toward the second flame. It floated patiently within the darkness. Waiting. The ancient voice spoke again. There were once 7 gates. Veros listened, each protected, one archive, and the witnesses. They opened them. What happened after that? The corridor became silent. Even the flame stopped moving. When the answer finally came, it was almost too quiet to hear. They failed, far beyond both worlds. The ancient mechanism completed another calculation. Not mathematical, historical. It searched millions of civilizations, billions of years. One result remained. Last complete synchronization. Failed. Another line appeared. Cause. The 7th witness never arrived. The mechanism paused. For the first time, its prediction changed. Current probability of success, 0.00003%. The number remained on its surface, unchanging, almost hopeless. On Blue Star, Dr. Amelia Grant stared at the newest satellite imagery. The coastline looked normal, except one frame, exactly one, between 2 ordinary images. A black circle appeared beneath the water, perfectly symmetrical, exactly where the anonymous map had pointed. The next frame, nothing, gone. She checked the timestamp, 6:18 a.m. Her heartbeat quickened. She enlarged the image. At the very center, a single human figure, too small to identify, standing alone. She whispered, "Who are you?" Elsewhere. Inside an underground government facility, the same image appeared on another monitor. Unlike Amelia, the people watching already knew what it meant. No one spoke. No one celebrated. An elderly man in a gray suit quietly removed his glasses. After several moments, he gave a single order. Activate Protocol Janus. One of the officers hesitated. Sir, we've never used it. I know. What if we're wrong? The old man looked once more at the frozen image. The lone figure, standing inside the black circle. Then he answered. If that platform has awakened, we're already too late. Hundreds of kilometers away, Ethan boarded the bus back home. He kept replaying the vision. The stars, the stranger, the words. Then, something caught his attention. The elderly woman sitting across from him had been watching him since he boarded. Not staring, observing. When the bus stopped, she stood, walked past him, and whispered only one sentence. So, the 6th witness finally remembered. She stepped off the bus. The doors closed. Ethan shot to his feet. Wait. The driver looked at him through the mirror. Something wrong. Ethan looked through the window. The woman was gone. Not walking away. Not crossing the street. Gone. As though she had never been there. Far beneath the Atlantic Ocean, the ancient chamber illuminated for the first time in millions of years. Stone pillars rose from the darkness. An enormous circular hall emerged beneath the sea. 7 empty pedestals stood around its center. Above each, a single word appeared. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Only one pedestal glowed. The one marked sixth. Then, without warning, a deep voice echoed through the chamber. Not spoken, remembered. The witnesses are gathering. Prepare the first trial. Chapter 18. The first trial. Every civilization believes the first test is strength. They are always wrong. The words echoed across the chamber beneath the sea. Prepare the first trial. Then, silence. The 7 pedestals remained motionless. Only the 6th continued to glow. Softly, patiently, as though waiting for someone to arrive. Far above, the Atlantic continued its endless rhythm. Waves rolled toward the shore. Fishing boats crossed the horizon. Morning sunlight shimmered across the water. No one suspected. An entire city had awakened beneath them. Ethan reached home shortly after noon. His parents were already eating lunch. His mother looked up. I thought you were going to campus. He hesitated. I changed my mind. She smiled. Good. You spend too much time studying. His father laughed. That's the first time I've heard a mother complain about that. Everyone laughed. Even Ethan. For a moment, everything felt normal again. After lunch, he locked himself inside his room. His laptop waited on the desk. His prototype rested beside it. He connected the sensor, downloaded the morning's readings. The software began plotting another graph. Then, it froze. Processing. The loading bar refused to move. Not because the computer was slow, because the data had changed. The graph no longer displayed tiny magnetic fluctuations. Instead, it showed something impossible. A pulse. Perfectly rhythmic. Exactly like a heartbeat. He frowned. What? He enlarged the graph. Each peak contained microscopic variations, tiny enough to ignore, until he overlaid his own heartbeat, recorded from his smartwatch. The 2 patterns matched perfectly. He leaned back slowly. My sensor. It's measuring me. Thousands of kilometers away. Dr. Amelia Grant received clearance she had never requested. A secure government vehicle waited outside the research center. 2 officers stepped inside. One approached her desk. Dr. Grant. Yes. We need you to come with us. She frowned. Who are you? The officer placed a badge on the table. No agency name. No department. Only 3 concentric circles. Her heartbeat skipped. You know about the anomalies. The officer nodded. We've known for much longer than you think. Back on Chaos, Professor Saris refused to leave the laboratory. The array had not responded to a single human command in almost 12 hours. Yet, its activity continued increasing. The inscriptions no longer flowed randomly. They repeated, again, again, again. Chief Engineer Darren enlarged the pattern. His eyes widened. I've seen this. Saris turned immediately. Where? He stared at the symbols. His expression changed. Confusion, then fear. I don't remember. The words hung heavily in the laboratory. Not again. Another memory had been taken. Professor Veros emerged from the hidden corridor. He looked older. Not because time had passed. Because memory had weight. He carried the lantern carefully. No one noticed. Its flame had changed. Originally, it had burned white. Now, at its center, a faint blue light flickered. General Kaler met him outside the archive. What did you find? Veros looked toward the distant laboratory. They're waking up. The gates. Veros shook his head slowly. The witnesses. Kaler frowned. How many? The old historian closed his eyes. For the briefest moment, he heard the ancient voice again. Not in front of him. Inside him. 6. He opened his eyes. Not enough. Far beyond galaxies. Beyond light. Beyond time. The ancient mechanism stopped calculating probabilities. For the first time, it began preparing. Millions of immense structures stirred from dormancy. Not machines, not worlds. Archives, each larger than planets, each preserving the memory of a civilization. One by one, lights awakened across the endless darkness. First archive, online. Second archive, online. Third archive, online. The sequence continued. Not 7, hundreds, then thousands, then millions. The universe itself was remembering. Deep beneath the Atlantic, the glowing sixth pedestal brightened. A second pedestal, barely visible, flickered once. Not the fifth, not the seventh, the first. Somewhere, another witness had unknowingly taken their first step, and somewhere in the darkness, something that had waited since before the birth of stars smiled. The first trial was about to begin. Chapter 19. The trial begins. Every trial asks the same question. Not, are you strong? But, can you see what everyone else ignores? Ethan stared at the graph. His heartbeat matched the pulse. That should have been impossible. His prototype wasn't designed to monitor biology. It measured magnetic fields, atmospheric pressure, electromagnetic interference. Not people. He disconnected the device. The pulse disappeared. He connected it again. The pulse returned. Exactly the same. Steady, patient, alive. He whispered. What are you measuring? The screen changed. Not because he touched the keyboard. Not because the software crashed. Because something answered. A single line appeared, waiting for second resonance. Ethan froze. He hadn't programmed those words. He searched the source code. Nothing. The phrase didn't exist. He unplugged the prototype. The message remained. Across the city, Dr. Amelia Grant sat inside the back of an unmarked vehicle. No windows. No insignia. Only silence. Finally, she spoke. Who are you? The officer opposite her answered calmly. We are the Meridian office. I've never heard of it. You weren't supposed to. She folded her arms. And the anomalies? The officer looked at her. We've been monitoring them. For 89 years. Amelia laughed. No, you haven't. The officer didn't react. Instead, he placed a weathered photograph on the seat beside her. It showed a coastal excavation. Black stone. 3 concentric circles. The date beneath the image read, 1937. On chaos. The array completed another revolution. Every inscription stopped moving. Just for a moment. Then, every symbol aligned. Chief Engineer Darren stepped backward. Professor. Saris looked up. The inscriptions no longer resembled writing. They formed a map, not of chaos, not of any known star system. A path, crossing empty space, connecting 2 worlds. The planetary intelligence spoke. Trajectory confirmed. Saris looked toward the sphere. Trajectory of what? The answer came immediately. Memory. Silence. Professor Veros entered quietly. He looked at the projection. Then, closed his eyes. I've seen this. General Kaler sighed. Do you actually remember? Or are you about to forget again? Veros smiled sadly. This time, I remember enough. He walked toward the map. His finger hovered over the point representing chaos. Then, the point representing Earth. Between them, 7 smaller points glowed faintly. They aren't gates. He spoke almost to himself. There, the word arrived slowly. Thresholds. Kaler frowned. What's the difference? Veros looked at him. A gate can be opened. A threshold must be crossed. Far beneath the Atlantic, the ancient chamber continued awakening. The 6th pedestal burned with pale blue light. Without warning, a second flame appeared, not upon another pedestal, in the center of the chamber, floating, watching, waiting. Then, a sound. Not a roar, not a voice, a heartbeat. One powerful heartbeat. The entire chamber responded. Pillars vibrated. Dust drifted from the ceiling. The black stone floor shimmered. Ancient carvings, hidden beneath millions of years, began revealing themselves. They depicted 7 figures, standing together, facing something, not an army, Not a monster. A door. Larger than mountains. Covered in countless circles. Far beyond every known galaxy. The ancient mechanism completed another update. First trial. Status, active. Objective, observation. Failure condition, interference. Then, for the first time since the previous cycle, a second intelligence awakened. Its voice was unlike the first. Older. Slower. Almost. Sorrowful. It asked only one question. Have they begun remembering? The first mechanism answered. Yes. Another pause followed. Long enough for stars to be born. Then the second voice spoke again. Then hide the hunters. The first mechanism hesitated. For the first time, it questioned an instruction. Reason. The answer echoed across the oldest structures in existence. Because if the hunters awaken before the witnesses remember. Another long silence. Then, the sentence that made even the ancient mechanism stop calculating. Both civilizations will die again. Chapter 20. The ones who hunt. Every civilization believes that becoming visible is a victory. It isn't. Sometimes, being seen is the beginning of extinction. The ancient voices fell silent. Across the endless darkness, the mechanism waited. Its calculations continued. Its predictions shifted. One line remained unchanged. First trial, active. Deep beneath the Atlantic. The heartbeat sounded again. Once. Only once. The chamber answered. Every pillar illuminated. The carvings covering the walls became clearer. Not symbols. Not language. History. 7 figures stood together. Behind them, 2 worlds. Before them, an endless darkness. Within that darkness, thousands of tiny lights. Not stars. Eyes. Watching. The final carving had been damaged. Something had deliberately erased it. On Blue Star, Ethan shut his laptop. He no longer cared about the graph. The words on the screen remained burned into his thoughts, waiting for second resonance. Second, that meant there had already been a first. His phone rang. Unknown number. He hesitated. Then answered. Hello. Silence. Then, a woman's voice. You touched the platform. Ethan stood. Who is this? You have exactly 1 hour. What are you talking about? After that, they'll know where you are. The call ended. He tried calling back. Number unavailable. His room suddenly felt smaller. Not because anything had changed. Because someone knew. Across the city, the black government vehicle stopped beneath an ordinary office building. No signs. No company logo. No windows. Only reinforced concrete. Dr. Amelia Grant stepped out. The officer gestured toward the entrance. Welcome to Meridian. The heavy doors opened. Inside, hundreds of scientists worked in complete silence. Walls covered with satellite images, ancient maps, magnetic readings, archaeological photographs. Every wall displayed the same symbol. 3 concentric circles. Amelia stopped walking. How long have you known? An elderly scientist looked up from his workstation. Without hesitation, he answered, since before your grandfather was born. Back on Chaos. Professor Saris stood before the array. The map connecting the 2 worlds remained suspended in the air. Then, another point appeared. Not on Earth. Not on Chaos. Between them, a tiny pulse. Growing brighter. Chief Engineer Darren whispered. What is that? The planetary intelligence answered immediately. A crossing. General Kaler frowned. A crossing of what? The intelligence paused. Then, for the first time, its voice became uncertain. I do not know. Which direction? Far beneath Horizon Spire. Professor Veros returned to the circular chamber. The 7 empty pedestals remained. The blue flame still floated above the 6th. He walked toward the center. The lantern in his hand suddenly extinguished. Without wind. Without reason. Darkness surrounded him. Then, a different light appeared. Not blue. Gold. It hovered above the pedestal marked. First. Veros frowned. No. It can't be. The ancient voice answered. It can. The first witness has awakened. The first. But Earth has the 6th. Yes. Then who is the first? The silence that followed felt deliberate. Finally, the answer came. You have already met them. Veros searched every memory he possessed. Nothing. Only fragments. Faces without names. Names without faces. Then, one memory returned. Not from yesterday. Not from childhood. From somewhere. Before either. A pair of golden eyes. Watching him. Smiling. His breathing stopped. No. Across the universe, the oldest mechanism issued an instruction. Not to the witnesses. Not to the gates. To something else. Something. Sleeping. Hunter network. Status. Dormant. Threat level. Increasing. Release authorization. The command stopped. Another system interrupted. One far older. One with higher authority. Authorization denied. The mechanism paused. It had never been denied before. It searched for the source. Nothing. No origin. No identity. Only a single line. The game must remain fair. Far beyond the mechanism. Beyond the archives. Beyond even the forgotten civilizations. Someone opened their eyes. Not an ancient machine. Not a god. A person. They sat alone beneath a sky filled with impossible constellations. An old wooden table stood before them. Upon it, a weathered chessboard. One black piece. Moved by itself. The stranger smiled faintly. They've made their first move. A second voice, hidden somewhere beyond sight, asked quietly, "Will this cycle be different?" The stranger looked toward two distant stars, Blue Star and Chaos, then answered, "I don't know. But they've already changed one thing." What? The mechanism, for the first time, is afraid. Chapter 21. The Crack. Reality never breaks. All at once, it cracks. Quietly, waiting for someone to notice. Ethan didn't leave his room. Not because of fear, because he was thinking. The anonymous call. The platform. The vision. The impossible message on his computer. None of it made sense. Yet, every piece fit together. He opened his laptop once more. The message had disappeared. Only the graph remained. Heartbeat. 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 Perfectly regular. Until a new pulse appeared. Not 6 minutes later. 6 seconds. The software froze. Every graph vanished. The screen turned black. One white dot appeared. Then another. Then another. They connected. A triangle. Then a fourth point. The shape changed. 3 concentric circles. The speakers crackled. No audio file existed. No application was running. Yet a voice emerged. Calm. Ancient. Almost human. Observation complete. The screen returned to normal. Nothing remained. Not even the graph. Ethan checked the event logs. Nothing. The computer insisted. Nothing had happened. Across the city, Dr. Amelia Grant stood before a wall-sized display inside Meridian. The elderly scientist who had greeted her introduced himself. "My name is Dr. Nathan Cole. You've been watching us? For decades." "No," he corrected gently. "For generations." He touched the display. Thousands of photographs appeared. Ancient ruins. Stone circles. Underground chambers. Black platforms. Every continent. Every ocean. Every civilization. "We found 112 sites." He paused. "We believe there are many more." Amelia frowned. "What are they?" Nathan looked at the oldest photograph. "We used to think they were temples. Then machines. Then observatories." He looked back at her. "We now believe they're doors. Back on Chaos." Professor Sarah stared at the map connecting Earth and Chaos. The crossing point continued growing brighter. Then, it moved. Only a fraction. "But enough," Chief Engineer Darren whispered. "It changed." "No," Saris answered quietly. "It's searching." The planetary intelligence confirmed it. Resonance alignment. Adjusting. Toward what? No answer came. Instead, every light inside the laboratory dimmed. Not from power loss. From synchronization. Everything began pulsing. Together. Heartbeats. Machines. Lights. Even breathing. For exactly 3 seconds, the entire laboratory shared the same rhythm. Then, it stopped. General Kaler looked around. "Did everyone?" Chief Engineer Darren nodded. "I felt it." Professor Veros closed his eyes. His expression became pale. They've started listening. Who? Veros answered without opening his eyes. The thresholds. On Blue Star. The old fisherman returned to the coastline after sunset. Again, the birds refused to cross. Again, the water remained strangely calm. Then, something changed. The reflection of the moon. Split. Not in the sky, only upon the sea. For a heartbeat, two moons floated upon the water. One real, one somewhere else. The old fisherman whispered, "It's opening." His grandson looked up. "What is?" The old man smiled sadly. "I was hoping I'd never live long enough to see it." At that exact moment, halfway around the world, a little girl dropped her pencil during an examination. It rolled beneath her desk. She bent down to retrieve it, then froze. There was another classroom. Beneath the floor, students sat quietly, writing. A teacher walked between the desks. Everything looked normal, except every student below looked exactly like the students above. The little girl blinked. The vision vanished. Only concrete remained. She slowly picked up her pencil, said nothing, finished her exam. But that night, she drew what she had seen. Without realizing it, she had become the first ordinary human to glimpse a fracture far beyond both worlds. The ancient mechanism updated the trial. First trial. Phase 1, complete. Witnesses observed reality. A new line appeared. Phase 2. Determine who can perceive the fractures. Then, for the first time, the mechanism received data it had never expected. Unregistered observer detected. Silence. Another line appeared. Identity. Unknown. The mechanism searched every archive, every civilization, every recorded history. Nothing. No match. Somewhere, someone who was not a witness had seen the cracks between worlds. Chapter 22. The Observer. Not every person who sees the impossible is chosen. Sometimes, they are simply looking in the right direction. The mechanism continued searching across forgotten galaxies, across civilizations that had risen and vanished, across histories written and erased. Nothing. The unknown observer did not exist. For the first time, the oldest intelligence in the universe encountered an error. No record found. It searched again. The result did not change. On Blue Star, the little girl arrived home from school. She didn't tell her parents what she had seen. They wouldn't believe her. Instead, she opened her notebook and began to draw. One classroom, then another, perfectly beneath it. The desks, the windows, the teacher, every detail, until her pencil stopped. Not because she wanted it to, because her hand moved on its own. It drew 3 concentric circles. She frowned. I didn't. Slowly. She erased them. The paper remained blank, except the circles did not disappear. Across the city, Ethan couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the figure among the stars. You are late. Late. For what? His phone vibrated. A message. Unknown sender. No number. No application. Only coordinates. Nothing else. He copied them into a map. The location appeared immediately. University library. Basement archive. He stared. I was just there. The message disappeared. Meanwhile, inside Meridian, Dr. Amelia Grant stood before an enormous holographic globe. Dr. Nathan Cole enlarged one section. West Africa. The Gulf of Guinea. The Atlantic. Hundreds of tiny markers appeared. Each represented an unexplained anomaly. Nathan spoke quietly. We've spent 89 years trying to understand them. We've learned almost nothing. Amelia looked closer. One marker blinked. Lagos. What does that mean? Nathan's expression changed. It means... He checked another screen. No. Another alarm sounded. Then another. Scientists across the room looked up, one by one. Their monitors displayed the same message. New fracture detected. Location: University of Lagos. Archive basement. Nathan turned immediately. How far is the nearest field team? 22 minutes. We don't have 22 minutes. Back on Chaos. Professor Saris watched the resonance map. Another point appeared. Not on Earth. Not on Chaos. Between them. Then, another. And another. Like stars, lighting one after another. General Kaler frowned. More crossings? Saris shook her head slowly. No. There. She enlarged the projection. Every point connected. Not randomly. Precisely. They formed. A doorway. Professor Veros entered quietly. One look was enough. His face lost all color. It remembers. Saris turned. What remembers? Veros whispered. The road. Silence. The thresholds. He continued. Were never separated. They were pieces of a single path. Far beneath Horizon Spire, the 7 pedestals illuminated together. Not fully, only faintly. 6 remained dim. 1 burned brightly. The 6th. Then, for the first time, another pedestal awakened. Not the 1st, not the 7th, the 3rd. The ancient voice echoed. Another witness approaches. Across the universe, the mechanism updated the trial. First trial. Phase 2. In progress. Then, without warning, every archive across the universe received the same signal. Not from the mechanism, not from the witnesses, from somewhere else. One sentence, repeated endlessly. The hunters have seen the light. Silence spread across the oldest structures in existence. Even the mechanism stopped. Because that message should have been impossible. The hunters were still asleep. At least, they were supposed to be. Somewhere beyond the darkness. Something enormous opened. One eye,